Yo, what is going on everybody? Shri Kanase here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about exactly how to know when you have found a winning product. Now I personally believe this is one of the most asked questions out there amongst all of those people currently dropshipping, and I also personally think that this is one of the most important questions that you can ask in your dropshipping journey, because whoever is asking that question has accomplished something when it comes to advertising online. So if you're currently in the position where you're asking yourself this question or other people this question, first of all, great job for coming this far. And if you haven't gotten to this level yet, don't worry, be sure to watch my other videos so that you do get to this level. But the reality behind this question is that there's no easy answer to this. Every person who's currently doing well in dropshipping will kind of have a different metric of knowing exactly when they've found a winning product, and that is the same for me. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I identify all of my products, if they are winners or not. Because the worst thing that you can do, and I'll be talking more about this later on in the video as well, but that is to leave products running for days and days even when they show no signs of being a winner. And I've seen a lot of Facebook posts in Facebook groups where people have lost maybe $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, even some have lost up to $10,000. And the main reason behind this is that they don't know how to know if they have found a winning product or not. But this is one video you don't want to skip. Be sure to watch it until the end. And if this is the first time you're watching my video, smash that like button down below and subscribe while you're at it. But without wasting any more time, let's just jump right into it. So how to know when you have found a winning product. And before I show you guys the notes on my Google Doc, I want to take you over to my Facebook Ads Manager account and actually show you my very first winning product, which I found at the very end of December in 2017. So it's been roughly 2 years since I found my first winning product, and this first campaign that you see is the exact campaign which was running that winning product. And this is a product which I still sell to this day, which is why I can't show you guys what product it was. But if we look at all the stats for this specific product and also look at the ROAS, we can see that this product from day one was actually very profitable. In just December, and I think in mid-December is when I started testing this product, I had spent only about $487.53 to make back $1,586.75. While this is an important metric to look at, and I'm referring to the website purchase conversion value as well as the ROAS, this is not something that really provides a lot of insight in the beginning when you're just starting to test out a specific product. So in that case, you want to be looking at some other metrics which I'll be mentioning right now. But I've changed the way I'm looking at the columns currently so that you guys get a better idea of what to be looking out for. So let's go ahead and go inside the actual campaign so we can look at the specific ad sets, because looking at the individual ad sets provides a little bit more data compared to just looking overall at a campaign, because this was not a CBO campaign, just regular ad sets. So now that we're inside the campaign, let's look at the individual data for each of the ad sets. And these are actually all ad sets that are targeting specific interests, and I use the same exact strategy when I tested this product as I currently teach on my channel. So if you're wondering as to how you can test products so you can achieve results just like these ones, make sure to watch my other videos. But in this case, let's look at the specific category which actually matters the most. And what I want to do is I want to go at the very start of the month to show you guys exactly when I started testing this product and when I started getting results for this product. So let's go on to December 1st to December 9th to see exactly when we started testing this product. So as you can see, there's no data for December 1st to December 9th, and that is because I was not testing this product during that time. So if we change this to the 10th to the 17th, we can still see that there's not much data in this case, but this is when I actually started testing the product. And if we look at the most amount spent, we can see that it was just these three ad sets at the very top spending the most amount of money. And this is the time when I didn't have a lot of budget, if any at all, to spend on ads, which is why I only started the specific campaign with just 3 ad sets. So even with one single ad set, as you guys can see, I still got a purchase at $5 spent only for this product, and the ROAS for this campaign was 2.69. Now again, this is not enough data to make any kind of conclusions, but this is where I was just kind of getting started, getting my feet wet with Facebook ads. Let's look at all of the other data and go over exactly what I looked at to kind of continue testing this product. The first thing I was kind of looking at is the unique click-through rate of the link clicks. When it comes to your Facebook ads, the unique click-through rate for your link clicks tells you a lot of info, such as how good your ad is, how good your ad text is, and how good your video or image ad is. And for this product, I was only testing image ads. Something else that it tells you is how good your ad copy to audience matches. For instance, if you are trying to sell a dog product but you target the interest cats, of course you're going to have a low click-through rate for your link clicks because these people own cats, not dogs. So this is the kind of data that you get from the unique CTR link clicks. And this is also the first thing I look at. I like to make sure that the unique CTR is at least a minimum of 1% or more. Now I know a lot of YouTubers out there say that this needs to be 3% or more, 5% or more, but I kind of disagree because in my case, as you guys will see as I change the dates, a lot of my ad sets had a bare minimum of about 1% CTR, and some even had a lower CTR. But this product within 3 months was able to generate me more than 6 figures. So that tells you a lot about the CTR and what these other people say. But the next thing I like to look at is the cost per link click. So if we go over here on this side, I actually nowadays look at cost per content view instead of cost per link click. But the cost per view content, I like to have this number below $1 unless I'm selling a product that is over $50. In that case, it can be fine. And the most recent winning product actually does have a cost per unique view content of above $1. But for this specific ad set and the product, I was getting a cost per content view of 46 cents. And the third thing I like to look at is the cost per add to cart. For each product, depending on how much I'm selling it for, I like to have my cost per add to cart at $8 to $10. If the product is not getting add to carts by $10 spent maximum, it could be a product that is potentially not a winning product and something I would kind of test more ad sets with caution. And this is followed by the final metric which I look at, which is the cost per purchase. I tend to not look at the initiated checkout metric much because I believe the fourth thing that is the most important is the cost per purchase. And of course, this needs to be below your break-even cost. So for this product, I was getting this product for about $6 and selling it for $20. So that leaves me with about a $13 to $14 break-even point. So I got a purchase for this product well below my break-even cost, so that was a good sign as well. But let's go ahead and go on over to our Google Doc and talk more about these metrics. The first one I want to actually talk about is the average click-through rate in the industry. Now, the average industry click-through rate for specifically Facebook ads for those people running Shopify stores is around 1%. And that is why I mentioned a base minimum of a 1% CTR is a must if you even think the product is any good. Anything below a 1%, and I would say that your audience is wrong, your ad copy is wrong, or your product itself is just not cut out for the market. But along with this, what I've personally noticed is that when you find a winning product, the click-through rate will usually be greater than 2% to 3%. As you saw for my specific case, the click-through rate was above a 2%. So that kind of tells you that you're onto something. Either you've got the ad copy right, your video is very catchy, or your image is very high quality, or the audience that you're targeting is kind of interested in that product. So that is kind of the first step in determining whether your product that you're testing is a winning product or not. And again, the click-through rate will depend on a lot of factors. As I already mentioned, it could be the ad copy, the image or video used, the audience targeted, or specifically the kind of day Facebook is having. So on some days, there's a lot of fluctuations and even winning campaigns tend to do bad. And in other days, the ROAS is through the roof, where everybody's making a lot of money. So there's a lot of things that go into determining whether the product you're testing is a winner or not. And that is why I recommend that you don't do any determination on the first day. Let the ad sets and campaign run for 2 to 5 days minimum so that you have enough data to make this kind of decision. But now moving on to the specific other metrics I was mentioning, there is something else that I look at besides just the cost per view content or cost per add to cart. I like to look at the ratio between how many people are actually viewing the content and how many people are adding that product to cart. So basically the base minimum that you want to have with the view content to add to cart ratio is above a 10%. Meaning out of 100 people that click on the specific link on your product to go on your product page and view the product, 10 people out of those 100 should at least add to cart. If at least 10 people or more are adding that specific product to cart, that means you could be onto something. And if we go back to my first winning product and look at the unique content view to add to cart ratio, we can see that it was roughly 50%. Now I know this is not a lot of data, but let's go ahead and change the specific days now so that we can look at some more data. So let's do 10 to 24th. And this is when I really started testing this product, launching more ad sets. As you can see, I started increasing the budgets as well, but that is only because I was getting results with this product. As you can see, my cost per purchase was as low as $3.63. That is an insane low cost per purchase, and I was getting ROAS through the roof. As you can see, 6.40, 3.71, and on. But if we look at the main important metric, which is the unique content view and the add to cart ratio, we want to make sure that this is above a 10%. Now, if we go ahead and open up our calculator really quick and just look at the overall unique content view of each specific ad set and the add to cart and take the averages, which are these numbers right here, we can see that this was clearly above a 10%. So out of 249 people, 73 added the product to cart. So if we divide 249 by 73, we can see that the view content to add to cart ratio was roughly 29.3%. As you can see, this clearly matched my metric, which is that the view content to add to cart ratio should be above 10%. This was about 30%, so 3 times the normal amount. When you're getting stats like these and your product that you're testing is above this specific metric, that really tells you that you're onto something and that you should not give up and continue testing things. And in my case, since this was a 6-figure winning product and nobody else was advertising this product, this was really gold for me because this was a golden winner. And usually you'll see that golden winning products usually have a view content to add to cart ratio of above 20%. As you can see, in this case, mine was 29%, which is why it turned out to be a golden winner. One thing you want to keep in mind is, even though you may match these metrics, sometimes what you'll notice is that you're not getting enough sales to justify that it's a winning product. And if that is the case for you, don't worry, there's a solution for that. And that is, if your view content to add to cart ratio is above 10% or 20% and you're not getting sales, focus on improving your back-end funnel. Do not stop the ads. While a lot of people do look at these other metrics like the cost per content view, add to cart, etc., they really take the cost per purchase into consideration the most. And if they see that they're not getting sales below their margins, it's not a good enough product, and that is a big problem because some tweaks in your backend can really start the sales from coming in. Maybe it's your website that they're not trusting. Maybe the cost is too high. So focus on improving your funnel. Start looking at your product page, maybe the description, maybe the cost of the product, maybe the photos, etc. So in this case, you would want to keep on improving the funnel, but do not stop the ads. And this brings me to my next metric, which is the add to cart to the initiate checkout ratio. In my experience, what I've noticed is that winning products usually have a 45% to 50% or more add to cart to initiate checkout ratio. And if we again go back to our main ads manager and look at the unique add to cart ratio to the unique checkouts initiated, we can see that this was clearly over 50%. So let's go ahead and use our calculator one more time to see what the ratio was. So 48, and that is divided by 73 multiplied by 100, and that gives us 65.8% of add to cart to initiate checkout ratio. So by this point, I clearly knew that I was onto a really big winner because a lot of people were adding this product to cart. It was above this ratio, which is a 45 to 50%. So that told me that I was definitely onto something and I had to continue testing. But what I've also noticed happens a lot is that my product will often match these other metrics mentioned earlier, but it won't match the add to cart to initiate checkout ratio. And in this case, if the other metrics above match and there's a low ratio here, what you want to do is you want to again configure your funnel. The biggest section where the problem could lie is the cart or the checkout page. In this case, if you're not getting enough initiate checkouts, people are already interested in the product, they're adding the product to cart, but not a lot of them are initiating checkout. So that tells you that you want to do some changes with the cart page or the checkout page. But of course, this moves us to our last metric, which is the actual cost per purchase or the sales, because in the end, you can't take the view content, add to cart, or initiate checkouts to the bank. I wish I could do that because as you guys saw, I would be a millionaire in those terms. But in cases of winning products, what I've noticed is that the product that is a winner will usually be at break even or a very slight loss from day one. Usually products which are at big losses from the first day are not products which can be big winners. Now, of course, this is not the case in every single product, but usually in my own experience, what I've noticed is that winning products from day one are profitable. And if we go back to our ads manager and look at the ROAS, because we weren't looking at that specifically at the beginning, we can see that this product was actually profitable from the first day. So if we go to ROAS, we can see that the ads that I was testing actually did get me sales, and it was above a 2.69 ROAS. The break-even ROAS for this product, about a 1.9. At the entire month's data from the 10th to the 31st, and see what the ad test that I was testing actually got me in terms of return on ad spend. As you can see, overall, even on average, the ROAS was 3.25. So clearly, despite having all the other ad sets which weren't doing that great, because I was testing those interests, this product was doing well and absolutely killing it, getting me a lot of sales. So this is the kind of data that you see from a winning product. From products that are not winners, you're just not gonna achieve these kinds of results no matter how much you try. And usually after the first week, if you're not profitable, what I would suggest is that you move on to a different product, because as you saw, within about 20 days, so about 2 to 3 weeks, I was already making a lot of money with this product. But again, usually winning products will be at break even, slight loss from day one, and usually by the end of the first, maximum second week, you should be profitable. But let's say you have finally found that winning product, you've identified that it is a winner based on the metrics I just went over. Now what? What do? Do you just let those adsets run and just take money and stop the adsets once they stop running? Or exactly what is the process after this? So after identifying your specific winning product, there are a few things that you need to do, and this should be done as soon as you identify that it is a winning product. But slowly and steadily start launching more and more interest ad sets. This is the point where you've identified that winning product. You want to start using those lookalike audiences hopefully very soon. And in order to use those lookalikes so you can scale to the moon, you need data. So the only way to get data is by launching more interest ad sets. So what I would suggest that you do is that you want to launch interest ad sets with interest related to your main winning ad set. So whatever your main winning ad set is, click on the suggestions tab, look at the most closely related interests and run new ad sets for those specific interests. This is the period where we start gathering data for our pixel. We want to make it as strong as possible before we can start using our lookalike audiences. And I recommend a minimum of 500 to 1,000 events before jumping onto lookalikes. Especially if you're trying to make a video view lookalike, I recommend a minimum of 2,500 video views for 95% or 75% and onwards. In addition to launching more ad sets for interest, you want to launch a post-engagement campaign or a website conversion campaign optimized for view content. And this is mainly done to speed up the process of data gathering and get more engagement, likes, comments, shares on our winning ad sets. If you do launch the website conversion view content campaign, however, in that campaign, I suggest that you start testing more creatives, because the ad creative that you're working with right now and that is winning for you, it may be dead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So in order to prevent that, you want to start testing more ad creatives from day one, so that when your first main winning creative dies, you have more to just cycle in. I've had this happen to me where the main winning ad creative just died out and I had no clue what to do, and all the momentum with my Facebook ads just dropped because I was not testing new ad creatives more enough. So this is the most important thing you want to do. But now let's talk about a few tips when it comes to specifically after you've identified the winner and done all of these things. What should you be doing after that? So one big tip regarding this is do not continue running ad sets hoping something will work. This is the worst thing you can do financially for yourself and your business. I see a lot of people out there just letting something run because it was working 4 days before or 7 days before, and hopefully it starts working again. Facebook is not some magic machine where miracles happen all the time. It is a data-based machine. So if the data is telling you that the ad set or the ad itself is starting to die out, you need to take action against that, not just hope and pray that something works. This is really an easy way to just empty your pocket and lose all of the money that you made unnecessarily. In addition to this, you want to understand that bad products cannot be made a winner unless you have a big budget. Now again, this is because if you have a big budget, you can test more and more ad sets and finally find a specific audience which actually wants the product. But without that, it is really hard to make any product work. I know I've said it before where you can't even sell a rock online, and while I still believe that is still true to this day, I've realized that you need a big budget to make that actually happen. So in my case, as you see, I didn't have a big budget. I was just running 3 ad sets in the beginning because I was so scared of losing money. But even with those 3 ad sets, I was getting some type of results, and those results told me that this was a winning product. So because it was a good product, it started to sell. If it was a bad product, it would not have sold. And the third thing I'd like to say is focus on the metrics and numbers rather than just on getting sales. Sales are just a byproduct of the amount of work that you put into ads, meaning the amount of work that you put into the ad copy, finding the audiences, etc. If you start paying attention more to each of the metrics, such as what the CPM means, what the cost per link click means, and so on, you'll start to figure out how to improve those numbers so that your cost per purchase lowers and you start making more profit. Facebook ads is just a numbers game. And the sooner you realize that, the better it'll be for your pocket. But this is exactly how you can identify winning products and exactly what you should do after you find those winning products. If you found any type of value in this video, make sure to smash that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.